Hey guys, it's Lauren. So I was in the middle of doing my makeup and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna toss on the camera before I put this guy on. This is the new Hourglass Scattered Light Glitter Eyeshadow. I got it in the color Smoke. Thought it would be fun to play with this guy on camera. Put it on my eyeball, maybe try out a couple of different like combinations with this guy. I've had it for a few days now and I really like it. It's totally up my alley. Also quite similar to several other things I own, so I'll do like a little kind of roundup swatchy bit towards the end with some sort of shadows that are along the lines of this guy. You know, it's not exactly like this. It's just a really beautiful, elegant shimmer glitter shadow. I have very textured eyelids. I've been blessed with skin tags since I was like a little kid, and they're just textured. They're textured, and so sometimes different glitters and shimmers can be a little unforgiving on more textured eyelids. So this actually, I feel like, is a really nice option if you have maybe more textured lids. And just because I have textured lids doesn't mean I'm gonna stop wearing glitter and shimmer, because I love it. But this is like sophisticated shimmer in a way. I think I've called other things sophisticated shimmer before, but just very flattering, I find, in terms of its texture. I have moved everything, pushed everything back so I could fit my camera and whatnot, and my chair is a very creaky old chair, so that noise will be our soundtrack. Anyways, I'm gonna apply this just straight up with my finger. It has one of these like little stoppers, which is good, because you know these things kind of like fall, like they kind of fall apart. They like break down after a little bit. I have the one from Natasha Denona I got a hot minute ago that I still use like all the time, but that it didn't have like a topper that I remember, and it has dried out so much. I accidentally like left one time to go somewhere for like a long weekend, and like the lid was off the whole time and it really kind of dried out. So I kind of like broke it up and remixed it, so it's been a little bit better, but it's definitely kind of like dry now. So this is just with my finger. I've dotted in a couple of times into the thing and just applying it on. Not too much fallout. You know what? I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so this actually can be seen what I'm doing. Is that better? There we go. So there it is. Just on its own. And do the other eyelid. Definitely put it on in a little bit more of like an intense way, and you can really like kind of sheer it out, so it's a little bit more of a hint. But it's definitely one of those good like type of shadows for just being like a single swipe type of look. So I'm actually gonna curl my lashes because I always feel a little bit, I don't know, undressed in a way when I don't have mascara on. Sometimes I'll even like do part of my eye look, put on like at least like a little layer of mascara and then continue, because it just, sometimes I find it better for gauging the amount of shadow that I'm putting on. Totally just rock this, put on a little like, what would be really pretty with this? Like Glossier Strom a little bit on the cheeks. Ooh, that's quite a bit I grabbed. I'll try this lip pencil with it. I'm gonna play with it a little bit more because that's kind of why I sat down here, to play with it, kind of mix it in with some other shadows. So I think I'll take the Marc Jacobs Coconut Fantascene, the white one. I'm gonna use this, I think it's a Sonia Kashuk, just like a random impulse brush I bought at Target. I have like the most random selection of brushes. That's actually something that I'm looking to invest in. I want to like get some nicer brushes, and I was looking at the Wayne Goss and also the Smith eyeshadow brushes. If you've tried either of those and have recommendations, let me know. I'm gonna take this guy and I'm gonna dip into, I'll dip into this like brown shade with this blending crease brush. I'm gonna take a smaller brush and I'm gonna dip into this really dark purple shade. So my sound actually got all messed up in this area, so I didn't mention the brush, but I'm using just like that typical brush that comes with every Anastasia palette, and I'm using the more dense side to place the pigment starting more towards the outer side of my crease and then slowly bringing it in, because it is kind of such an intense color and it can get like a little bit muddy. So then I just like flip over the brush to the more fluffy side and use that to kind of diffuse, blend in a little bit more into the crease area so it doesn't get like too muddy. And then I wanted to kind of deepen things up a little bit more on like that outer V area. So I just went in with more of that purple shade and concentrated it in the crease as well as just like, well, that V shape area, and just blended that in. And then again with the same brush, same color, I didn't dip back in just what was left on the brush. I'm using that to shade out the lower lash line and connect it into that like outer V area that I deepened up to give it a little bit like a, kind of like a blown out wing effect, I guess. So I'm taking that blending brush I was using earlier and I'm going in with this just creamy shade to kind of try and clean up / diffuse this overly intense purple smoky eye I just made. I'm not really digging the lip combo with the eyeshadow that I did, and this is also like a super thick, like moussey feeling formula, so I'm gonna just kind of blot that off. I'm definitely more in the mood for maybe this something not too, well, heavy feeling on my lips. Anyways, back to the eyes. Really went dramatic, which was kind of trying to keep it not so dramatic since I have a very like non-makeup-y thing to go to, but whatever. Let's just keep going. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of this guy because I've really kind of blended it all in with this look, which is quite pretty, but let's just see how like full force we can make this. Maybe just like towards like the inner part. So I ended up diffusing the purple that I put in the crease because it was a little much for me, but I think I'm going to actually take the purple but with a angled eyeliner brush, and I'm gonna use that to kind of like stamp into my lash line, make it a little bit more deep. Okay, so I rounded out the look. Not really sure what I said I did on camera and what I didn't, but I'll have things listed below. But on my lips, I am wearing Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk and Glossier Generation G in Cake together, and I popped in some funky earrings. Feels very Katie Jane Hughes. She always has a really cool like earring eye look combination situation, so I was like, oh, these are fun. Anyways, before I log off, said I was going to do some comparison swatches of this beautiful guy. So here with my finger I shall swatch. So here is Smoke from Hourglass. This is one of the, what are these called again? The dual intensity eyeshadows from Nars. I think this is the shade Himalia. I've had this guy for years. Okay, so this is the Hourglass. This is Nars, the L'Oreal Infallible, Charlotte Tilbury and Marie Antoinette, and then just to give kind of a shimmer comparison, this is one of the Natasha Denona Chroma Crystal Top Coats. They're definitely a little bit more like scattered looking, and these are a little bit more, not a little bit, a lot more put together. It's funny because this is called scattered, but I consider this to be more like scattered. Well, that is everything I can think of to talk about with this eyeshadow. Seems to have a decent longevity. I wore it all day yesterday and it did fade, you know, as anything fades as the day goes on. It still looked really beautiful. There's like no creasing or anything. Yeah, so I think that's all I have to say about this. I hope this last minute video on this guy was interesting and helpful if you were interested in this guy, in the scattered light eyeshadow, this scattered video on the scattered light eyeshadow. Anyways, if you did like this video and it was helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and see you guys in the next one. Bye.